Hello, this is Julia from Just One More Card, and I have a fun project for you today, which is using distress ink over embossing. I'll also be using this Stampin' Up! Clear stamp set, Show and Tell #1, and I'm going to use those arrows and the little heart, the outline of the heart. My sentiment will be from Kaisercraft, and it's this friend stamp, which is just beautiful. You'll see more of it later. I'm going to use the Modelon Distress Ink, the Spun Sugar, and the Mustard Seed. Two very bright and very happy colors. I have the mini blending tools as well. I'm going to be using Stampendo's Superfine White embossing powder and the embossing powder magic baggy thing, and some painter's tape to hold my card base down. I'll be working directly onto the card base because I'm doing this for 2 challenges, and one of them is a 1-layer challenge, the 1-layer simplicity challenge, and this is the color combination I'm going to use, the reddish colors, the yellowish and green color. I've taped down my card base. I'm using my embossing bag to make sure that the embossing powder will not stick to anything but the sentiment. The sentiment is really big, so I'm making sure that I get a good impression. I might be overdoing this a little now that I watch it again, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Lifting the stamp up very carefully as to not to tear the paper. Sorry for my head getting in the way. And then I'm stamping the arrows on the top and bottom and also a little heart. And now I'm covering the sentiment with embossing powder, and I'm just sprinkling some at the top, letting it run down, covering more areas. But since this is a very, very big sentiment, it takes me 3 attempts to get everything covered, but nothing sticks where it's not supposed to go. And here you can actually see how embossing powder turns. It's just so fascinating to me, even after a year of doing this, to see how it goes from, some powder to, I don't know, embossed magic. It's just so much fun. So now I'm using the Spun Sugar Distress Ink with the mini blending tool. I just love the mini blending tool. I like it more than the rectangular one, because here the foam pad is slightly bigger than the tool itself, so you don't have like hard edges if you don't put it down perfectly. And I'm just applying a subtle wash of color. I'm not going for super intense because I'm going to have a white frame around this anyway, so it will be set off by the white, so I don't need to make it too dark. I just want to have a nice color. Switching over to the mustard seed, and yes, I do have 3 ink blending tools. I feel that this is not extravagant, I mean, we are crafters, and if that is something that if there is anything that you are going to be using a lot, like for me, I love distressings, I love doing techniques, then having 3 of these blending tools really isn't extravagant. They come in a pack of 2, I think, so I bought 2 packs, mainly because I wanted to have enough of the foam pads. I wanted to have 1 foam pad per distress ink pad, because I got just so tired of washing the 2 that I originally had. That was just, it got quite exhausting. And so I have 1 foam pad per color that I have in my supply, in my stash, and I have 3 of those blending tools. And as you can see, usually I'm working with 3, maybe 4 colors, so having the 3 tools allows you to work rather quickly because you don't have to switch the foam pads in between all the time. And I'm just coming back because the contrast between the yellow and the pink and the green and the pink is a little bit harsh, and I'm softening the edges by applying a little bit more of the spun sugar, and I'm applying a little bit more in general here as well. And then I'm going to come back with the yellow distress blending tool, but I'm not going to put it into the ink pad again. I'm just going to use whatever is left up, and I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just trying to soften out the edges. And then after I had peeled off the tape, here's the reveal. Here, it's basically the card is done. You have this beautifully framed sentiment with the embossing in the background, and I dabbed off the color from the embossed sentiment with a baby wipe. Originally I had it as a 1-layer card, and I'll submit it to the challenge as a 1-layer card, but I had some tearing at the upper corner of the card because of the painter's tape, so I cut apart the original card and put this onto another card base, and I think this looks even better. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, leave me a thumbs up, or visit me at my blog. Thank you. Bye.